In regards to the charges, I've pleaded not guilty to all 4 charges. Those charges relate specifically to me carrying out my duties investigating the disappearance of William Tyrrell. I'll repeat that because I think it's very important everyone understands what these charges relate to. They relate to me carrying out my duties investigating the disappearance of William Tyrrell. In essence, I've been accused of recording 4 conversations. Those conversations were conversations I had with a person about the disappearance of William Tyrrell. I had a lawful right and an operational need to record that conversation. And I'll repeat that. I had a lawful right and an operational need to record those conversations. I have made no attempt whatsoever to conceal the fact that I recorded those conversations, and police were aware of that.
For the past 5 months, Gary Jubelin has been sidelined from the most important case of his career.
Mr. Jubelin was charged with 4 offences under the Surveillance Devices Act. The Surveillance Devices Act of 2007 is a piece of privacy legislation enacted by the Parliament of New South Wales, the most populous state in Australia. It replaced the Listening Devices Act of 1984. The Act makes it an offence to record private conversations apart from in specific and defined circumstances. It makes provision of law enforcement officers to apply for warrants authorising the use of such devices in the circumstances in which judges of the Supreme Court of New South Wales might issue such warrants. Following a number of complaints, the Professional Standards Command commenced an investigation in 2018 overseen by the Law Enforcement Conduct Commission into the conduct of the officer during the course of his operational duties. Those inquiries disclosed a number of recordings allegedly made in locations in Parramatta and Kendall without a warrant.
The case was reviewed by the Director of Public Prosecutions, and this morning the 57-year-old was charged with 4 offences under the Surveillance Devices Act, which carry a maximum of 5 years jail. The lawyer fighting for Gary Jubelin has locked up some of the state's most notorious criminals. Prosecutor turned defence barrister Margaret Caneen SC, who says her client denies any wrongdoing whatsoever and will strongly defend the charges against him.
At the time of recording this, a second round of hearings into the coronial inquest, the disappearance of William Tyrrell, will begin tomorrow. It will be watched very closely by detectives as people they had identified as worthy of suspicion are expected to take the stand. Under the powers granted by the coroner, these persons of interest may be forced to explain their movements and knowledge of William's disappearance in 2014. All the evidence collected by Strike Force Rosen, led by Gary Jubelin, is being presented before the New South Wales Coroner's Court Deputy State Coroner Harriet Graham. The first part of the inquest commenced in March this year and heard evidence from William's biological and foster families and emergency services personnel. who were on the ground the day William disappeared from his grandmother's front yard in Benarium Drive, Kendall.
I was not allowed to carry out duties. I was taken off the investigations I was leading, and I could no longer continue to support victims and lock up the bad guys like I've done throughout my career. I have absolutely no animosity in regards to the New South Wales Police. It's been a privilege working with the hard, dedicated police officers of the New South Wales. I will miss being a police officer, but I'm sure they'll continue on with or without me. Thank you very much.
Why have they come after you so hard?
Join me on my next episode where we discuss a theory on a possible serial killer on the mid-north coast of New South Wales. My name's Sean.
1, 2,
and this
3, 4.
is Gone.
Light me up a cigarette.